Hi, I'm Lisa Munoz, and I'm the director of the Public Relations program at UCLA Extension. We are sitting here today with Julian Myers, the instructor for Entertainment Public Relations, who's going to tell us a little bit about his class and how he got started in this business. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning, Lisa.
Thank you very much for sitting with us and talking a little bit about your career and teaching for us.
I don't know about a career, and I'm trying to teach, and I learn more than I teach, but it's fun to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Well, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your beginnings in entertainment public relations. I know you grew up in Detroit, and I wondered, how did you get the idea that you wanted to work in entertainment public relations and your first job?
Well, one of my earlier wives, my first wife, worked in publicity at Columbia Pictures. When I was in the story department there, I was what we called an idea man, the only one of two in the industry at that time during World War II. I came up with ideas for movies. But my wife was working in the publicity as a secretary, and I thought, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm not that great a writer anyhow. And so when I got the chance to get into publicity, I did at 20th Century Fox. That was 55 years ago.
Wow. So being an idea man, it must have been great training for you to be a public relations man.
Yes, Hollywood publicity is the art of making the impossible possible. And so the angles make all the difference. The stories are more or less the same over a period of time. But if you can find a way to come in on an unusual or timely angle and then intrigue the press, the media with that angle, you might get this rather prosaic story pulled along with your topical angle.
What's one of the most difficult parts of being a publicist?
Your job is always to let your client know that you're achieving what she or he wants. At a studio, you just make sure you do what's in your field of responsibility. What's done in the other fields analogous to it or by other people is their business. But in a studio, you are assigned, there are usually like 20 different kinds of facets of publicity at a larger studio. And you have to do your facet well. But the further you get away from a studio, even including at some agencies, the more you're responsible for proving to your client that you're helping her or him achieve objectives.
Tell us a little bit about your first job in entertainment public relations, one of the first campaigns that you worked on.
When we put on the premieres of features at Grumman's, what was in Grumman's Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, we had a meeting deciding what we'll do for the picture. And so I was a young publicist, about 30 of us publicists sitting around. And when they suggested All About Eve, the world premiere, I realized that the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel was right across the street. So, Hollywood Roosevelt, my goodness, there's an Eve in the middle of Roosevelt. So I said, let me see if I can get the manager of the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel to turn out his lights that night, except for the EVE in the middle of Roosevelt. The night of the premiere of All About Eve, which I worked at, of course, at Grumman's Chinese, there was Eve up in the sky above. Minor thing, but little things like that were fun.
Those kinds of efforts actually require so much kind of interesting thinking and creative thinking. Well, what do you think is the most important skill to make a great publicist?
Well, the most fun skill, and the one that I enjoy most for whatever extent of it I have, is really trying to make the impossible possible. Try to think of something about your person or the subject that seems the opposite of it. And try to come in with your angle, which is the opposite, and awaken the media who wouldn't be covering your client because the client seems like all similar clients.
Julian, let's talk a little bit about your teaching for UCLA Extension. How did you come to start teaching for us?
There was a gentleman by the name of Ben Irwin. He was one of Hollywood's leading agency publicists. And he was teaching the class then. I think he called it Entertainment Public Relations. And I liked Ben, and I knew he knew more than I did. He was older, and he was with a good firm. I asked him if I could be his assistant. Unfortunately, Ben Irwin became ill and had to stop teaching. So Barry Bortnick said, would you like to continue teaching the class? I think it was barely that. And I said yes, and I've been doing it ever since.
What about professionally? What do you do to keep your skills refreshed in terms of speaking to your colleagues and?
Well, Lisa, what's been the greatest benefit to me throughout my career is teaching entertainment public relations at UCLA. That's the truth, because I have the greatest speakers there and I learn from them. Last year we had 31 speakers in that class in 9 weeks. These are the winners, these are the survivors. And I'm lucky enough not only to hear from them in class, but to know them as at least acquaintances and maybe friends. So the 34 years or so I've been teaching here, I've been learning here for 34 years.
What about the students in your class? What do you think they get out of getting access to these high-level speakers?
You come here and you spend under $400 in 9 weeks of 3 hours each, 27 hours. You meet 20 or more of the most important people in the industry who want to help you. Many of them provide a chance to see them again later. They're all survivors. Survivors. The most important thing you can be in Hollywood is a survivor.
Why should students interested in entertainment public relations take your class?
I think it's the best place in the world to get a chance to work in a Hollywood industry that's going to grow and need more people and that pays well, not great, but well. And second, it's very exciting. I don't think any part of the business is more exciting than what we do with publicity and promotion. And and you meet stimulating people, and I can't think of a way you can enrich your life more from the inside than spending 9 weeks for 3 hours each week being exposed to the people who are making things happen in the world.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to us, Julian.
Thank
We really
you, Lisa.
enjoyed it.
It was fun, so did I.
Okay, thank you.